I know it sounds cliche to say it, but it's all about the journey rather than just the summit itself. It's about the process as a whole, the highs and lows shared on the way to the summit that make climbing so addictive. We're all a big family out here. We live and work in these mountains, and ultimately they train us for the biggest mountains on Earth, the Himalayas. Yuli was a close friend to us all. We hope John will do him proud on Mount Everest.
At 29,000 feet, Mount Everest is the highest point on this planet. Reaching temperatures as low as minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit and with winds of up to 200 miles an hour, it is a treacherous place that has taken many lives. My friend Yuli had passed away here the previous year attempting one of his greatest climbing projects to date, something that had never been done before. My name is John Griffith, and I will support and accompany Sherpa Tenji, Yuli's Nepalese climbing partner, as he attempts to finish off his mentor's last climb in his style. Yuli's original project was to climb both the world's highest and fifth highest mountain in a single go without the use of bottled oxygen. It requires a superhuman ability. Only 175 people have stood on Earth's highest point without the use of bottled oxygen. More people have been into space than accomplished this feat. Climbing both Mount Everest and Mount Lhotse will expose Tenji's body to an extraordinary amount of time in the death zone, an altitude that contains so little oxygen that his cells will literally start to die. And whilst Tenji has already climbed Mount Everest 4 times before and once without bottled oxygen, there is no guarantee that he can do it again. It's a race against time.
My name is Sherpa Tenji, and the high mountains of Nepal are my home. Yuli was my mentor. He taught me how to climb, and I joined him on many of his expeditions. It means a lot for me to try and finish off his vision. At the very least, I can try. Just for that, he would be happy. John and I's ascent of Everest begins in the foothills of the Himalayas. We leave the hustle and bustle of Nepal's capital city and land in a remote airstrip in the village of Lukla. It is reputed to be the most dangerous airport in the world. Both landings and takeoffs run the risk of crashing into the mountains around it. There is no room for error. Lukla is known as the gateway to the Himalayas. It's the lowest point for all trekkers and climbers, and where you stock up on provisions, porters and yaks for the 2 months journey ahead. Even at this relatively low altitude, you can start to feel the effects of the lack of oxygen in the air. Our trek to Everest takes us through dramatic scenery, remote mountains, villages and precipitous paths. The mountains in Nepal are covered with Buddhist statues called stupas and thousands of prayer flags fluttering in the wind. The wind passes over the prayer flags and brings luck to those living and climbing in these remote places. For me, this valley is a very special place. It's where my family and I have lived and worked for generations, and I always like to stop by the tea houses to catch up with friends and relatives. Located deep in the Khumbu Valley, an area in western Nepal, Everest towers over the surrounding landscape. It's so high that it penetrates into the jet stream winds, resulting in a near constant cloud plume of snow and moisture streaming from its summit. Before setting foot on Mount Everest, we must first take time to acclimatize our bodies to get used to the higher elevations and lack of oxygen. We will spend 4 weeks here acclimatizing our bodies by climbing smaller mountains and sleeping up high. Slow and steady wins the race. The lack of oxygen high up could shock our bodies irreversibly. It's a painful process at times. The body takes time to adapt and you feel weak and suffer from headaches and poor sleep until you do. The passage of time is slow up here, but you can't rush it. Patience is key.
Wow, look at that view.
As we summit our first peak, Tenji and I split ways. Tenji has already been acclimatizing for a while before I came out, and I need one more summit to try and catch up with him. As I make my way past the yak herders, I head on over to one final peak by myself to finish off my acclimatization process. Now I'm ready. As we round the corner into the final stretch, we walk past the last settlement and the highest one in the Khumbu Valley. A final outpost of tea houses right beneath the highest mountains on Earth. But for us, our journey has now changed, and it becomes a waiting game, trying to find the right weather window and conditions on the mountains to allow safe passage to the top. We set up our base camp and settle in. There is no rush. Tenji requires an exceptional weather window to attempt this challenge without bottled oxygen. We spend time climbing in the tumbling glacier at the base of Everest and adventuring on the lower reaches of the mountain. But for now, we eat, we sleep, we wait. I can't rush Tenji. Only he can decide when he feels ready. But we don't have much time left. The end of the short climbing season is drawing near. Soon the monsoon will arrive, and with it the jet stream winds that bring hurricane-force winds on the mountain. With one more weather window left until the end of the season, we start to set our eyes on the top of the world. The real challenge begins now. We can only hope that the weather is on our side. Everest Base Camp is nestled right at the foot of Everest itself. Housed on an ever-shifting glacier, surrounded by steep walls that rumble with the sounds of avalanches day and night, it can be an intimidating place to live. Over 1,000 climbers and mountain workers live here during the short Everest season. Kenji and I join another climbing expedition team and settle into base camp life.
This is my 5th season that I'm on Mount Everest. It almost feels like a second home to me. I've always come here to work as a guide, but this trip is very different for me. Instead of focusing on my clients, I'm focusing on me and the challenge ahead. I feel ready and I hope I can make Yuli proud. I'm nervous and I think that's a good thing. After 4 weeks spent acclimatizing and getting our bodies used to the thinner air, it is time to finally go.
Morning, Sanjeev. Yeah, good morning. How about you? Good, very good. Ready for a big day tomorrow? Oh, yeah.
I need an exceptional weather window for a no-bottle oxygen ascent, as my body will be under major stresses and incredibly vulnerable to frostbite, as well as pulmonary and cerebral edema, a condition whereby my brain and lungs can fill up with my own body fluids, resulting in death. We only have a 3-day weather window. We will have to move fast if we are going to summit safely.
It'll be cold up there, huh?
Early in the morning, after a quick Buddhist prayer ceremony for good luck, we set out. In Nepal, we call Everest Sagarmatha, goddess of the sky, and consider it to be a sacred mountain. We always ask for her permission and blessing before stepping foot on the mountain.
It's a beautiful day, huh?
Yeah, it's very beautiful day.
How are you feeling for today?
I feel good. I feel very good.
Let's hope none of these big ice towers fall on our heads today. Our first barrier is the infamous Khumbu icefall, a huge broken expanse of ice that feeds down from the summits of Everest and Lhotse. Constantly moving under the force of gravity, it is a dangerous place riddled with deep crevasses, often hidden by weak snow bridges. High overhead hang menacing ice towers called seracs that can fall at a moment's notice, wiping out everything in their path. We climb fast and silently here, our ears and minds on high alert for the warning sound of a loud crack from high above, ready to run for cover at a moment's notice. Climbing out of the icefall, we arrive in an open glaciated valley called the Western Coombe and at the first camp. We don't have time to stop here. Our weather window is too short, so we press on to the next one. Sherpa guides work tirelessly over the Everest season to fix ropes and camps up this mountain, allowing access to the summit. But even in this open area where the mountain appears safe, there are still many dangers lurking. We use aluminium ladders that are lashed together with rope to cross the crevasses, never sure when they're going to snap under your weight or the supporting snow on either side is going to give way. You feel very vulnerable looking into the void halfway across these ladders.
Wow, a horrible ladder. Pretty cool in the Western Combe. Pretty hard in the Western Combe though. God, it's sunny up here. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's so cold in the icefall, and then you come up here and it's so hot. It's like an oven. All right, let's get to camp 2. After you.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Hey, Basu.
Hello, Namaste. Namaste.
Basu. Look at our base camp.
Oh yeah.
Big windstorm, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Destroyed it.
An hour later, and we arrive at our advanced base camp, Camp 2. It's been a long day to get here, and we need to dry out all our equipment before heading higher. From here on, keeping warm is the key to staying alive. We use insulated full-body suits to fight off the intense cold up high. Our camp has been destroyed by a windstorm a week ago, so we are glad to be able to use a larger expedition's cooking tent to pass the time. Located at 21,000 feet, Camp 2 sits just beneath the immense Lhotse face and marks the start of the really serious climbing. The summit of Everest has only a third of the oxygen than at sea level. Less than 20% of those who attempt it without bottled oxygen ever make it to the top. Up here, the weather can change rapidly from bright skies to snow. It's a constant source of worry when climbing without bottled oxygen, as oxygen is the fuel our body burns to keep us warm. Tenji is incredibly vulnerable to hypothermia without it. As we head to bed, we decide to climb up to Camp 4 the following day, skipping Camp 3 just to not miss our weather window. We pack our bags with our 2 Sherpas, Pemba and Dendi. It's now or never.
Now, Tenji, this is where we split in our style.
Yeah.
You continue without those. I use this life-saving stuff.
Geneva Spa. Camp 4 is just around the corner. Hey, Tenji, have some tea. How you doing, man?
I feel good inside the tent, but if you check outside, it's like very strong wind.
Yeah, we really need these winds to die down. It's just crazy. I don't even think with both of us on oxygen that we'd make the summit. It's really dangerous right now.
Yeah. And normally it's very dangerous. Also with oxygen, if weather is like this. Weather is like this with a stroke.
Yeah.
You don't go out.
Well, look, I got a spare bottle of oxygen and a mask if we need it for you. But honestly, I think even if we make Everest, there's no chance we'll be able to continue on to Lhotse in this wind. It's just way too dangerous now. It's just crazy. Give it a couple of hours, see if it'll die down and make a decision then, alright? Alright, Tenji, I think wind's died down a bit. I think we should give it a shot. I'll put on my oxygen. Do you want to head outside and get ready? Do it. Good work, Tenji. How you doing?
So cold.
Doing super well, man. Let's keep moving. Let's stay warm. Come on. Keep moving, Kenji. It looks like the weather's coming back in again. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm really cold.
Yeah. Hey, look, I think this weather's getting worse and worse. I think we should put you on my spare bottle of oxygen and mask, eh? Let's at least try and get up Everest. I don't think lots is going to be possible in this weather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Here's your mask. As your last few steps. Nice.
Oh, well done.
Good work, man. You'd be so proud of you. What a fight. Look at that view. What an incredible view.